Hola everyone, it's me, Haxley here, and I'm with my mightiest woman, and Paladrex, the Forever, a constant of the universe.
Exactly.
And today, I don't even know what episode this is. Young Justice episode 5? Damn,
Yeah.
I should really keep track of what episode.
It's 4.5, so it's season 4, episode 5.
So, thoughts?
It was a fine episode.
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot. It was a break from what's been going on over on Mars. It was just a overall nice, quiet episode. Roy gets his Is he Roy? Which one was that one? I forget the name they decided for each other.
I don't remember what they've decided for each other, but they are all Roy Harpers.
They all Roy Harpers, but I remember at some point they all gave each other different names so they could distinguish each other.
All right, just go off their hero names.
Who's the security guard? Does he have a hero name?
I think that's Red Arrow, right?
That's Red Arrow. Isn't the girl Red Arrow now?
No, that's Arrowette.
Arrowette. Okay. And then we have Arsenal.
So it's Jim, Will, and Roy Harper. Roy is the youngest of the three physically, and then there's Jim and Will. And I believe...
Well, I'm going to go with the hero names that Jeff suggested. So we have Red Arrow breaking his favorite clipboard. I thought it was a good scene.
That was actually enjoyable.
Yeah, that was probably the best part of the entire episode was that scene.
Him stabbing the pen was kind of funny. He's like, here, have a pen. Actually,
I need it back.
Yeah.
It was a fun fight scene. We leave Mars. We go back on Earth where we're seeing Artemis's life. We find out she is now a professor at university. And she gets tracked from her house to work. And she calls in some backup because, that's a big no-no. And they take on these people who are Onyx and Cassandra Savage? Cassie Savage?
Yeah.
And we kind of have a little figure out, are both of them telling the truth? Are both of them lying? What's going on? Because both
you don't actually know by the end of the episode.
Orphan was just
found out yet.
Don't trust them.
Yeah, I like how Orphan was just like, no. Why would you trust any of them?
I mean, honestly, that would have been my solution. My solution is like, okay, so one of y'all is sent here to be a mole, so I'm just not gonna trust any of y'all.
But we're gonna take both of you in to keep whoever's telling the truth safe.
Makes sense. It's a very straightforward answer. What would Batman do? That's how they have to think about it.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of times Batman does take them in. He's just careful.
Exactly. So take them in carefully. I do like how they were like, what is it, the Vault? What is that? Is that the same thing as the Quiver?
Well, it's never called the Quiver. It's called the Arrow Cave.
Yeah.
Because
But I like how they were just like, yeah, it doesn't really matter if we lose this one.
Yeah.
But I can understand why they feel, especially with the whole story of Artemis and Cheshire. I can understand why Artemis feels like maybe she can trust Cassandra, because if she lost her sister, she would not trust her father. I guess she doesn't trust her father in general anyway, but she has that connection with Cheshire, her sister, and someone says she saw their sister get killed in front of her, she's probably more inclined to believe them. She has that sister connection.
Yeah, but that's also exactly what a mole would say, knowing the connection, because the Vandal Savage would know that connection.
Yeah, but that's why we still don't know who to trust and if either one of them, but I can understand
why. Do you trust either of them? Do any of us trust either of them?
Not really.
No. I don't even think
I wouldn't trust either one of them yet, but I feel like I would try and help them. It's like, just gotta keep my eyes peeled.
I think they're both a mole.
Nuclear option. They are. No, yeah, they did say that. It was possible that they're just both a mole and it doesn't matter who they take.
Yeah.
That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like in the end, neither of them are moles.
Nuclear option. Just pop them both.
No, that's the bad guy route, Jeff.
That is the bad guy route.
That's the Ra's al Ghul route.
It is. Yeah, it is. Okay, I understand. More Batman, less Ra's.
So even with us being the omniscient like watchers, we still don't know what to believe, obviously,
Yeah.
and we have more information than they do.
Yeah.
Good storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we
It's
also
like
get to
DC
see our
actually
boy
has good writers
Jason
for the
and
show.
Damian again.
Yeah.
We saw Jason.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah. He was with
Oh,
Talia.
I'm sorry. I forget that's Jason sometimes. Seeing baby Damian felt weird to me. I just feel like
that
this
did feel
Batman's too
weird.
old now.
Is Batman too old now?
Yeah, because it's like, why would it's like 3 Robins, and they're all like almost fully grown. So it's just
He's only got like 7 years until Damian enters his life.
it's still like
And all the Robins are
I
kind
mean,
of full grown by the time that happens. So it's not
Yeah.
out of the realm of possibilities.
because you gotta
it's felt
remember,
strange.
we get Dick. Dick grows up all the way to like what, college year before he leaves as Nightwing, and then
Yeah.
after he's already Nightwing, we get Jason as a kid. He grows up to be like a 18 or 19, and then we get Tim, and then and then Damian after. Damian, I guess, shows up while Tim's still a kid or a teenager at least.
Does he? I can't remember.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
it's not like Tim outgrew the Robin. Damian showed up and beat his ass.
Yeah. And then he was like, I guess I'll be the Drake.
So yeah, if you consider how many Robins there are, like Batman should be like in his 50s or something. Anyway, by the time Damian shows up.
No love.
Yeah,
for
especially
Tim.
because he's like usually late 20s by the time he gets his first Robin.
Probably like late 20s, if anything.
Yeah, late 20s.
Ah, the Robins.
And then he has like Dick for like 10 years. Jason's probably around for like 5. Tim's probably around for like another 3 or 4. And then we have Damian, who's here currently.
Yeah.
Doing whatever Damian
Speaking
is.
of Damian, quick side note. I saw, so we finally got the art for the concept art for Damian Wayne in the Batman Arkham games, what was supposed to come out. And it was basically a Batman Beyond suit, but with a cape. And Bruce was like grayed and wearing just like a regular Batman suit. I'm very mad we didn't get it.
I have to see this.
What exactly am I typing in? Damian Arkham game?
I would have to find it on. Oh yeah,
Oh, I see it.
Concept
Here,
art for
I'll share
cancel
it.
Damian Wayne game appears.
He looks black.
Well, Talia is brown. Like, let's not forget that she's Middle Eastern.
Yeah, but like his face just looks black. At least on this first picture. On the other ones, he doesn't. But this first one, he looks like he's just straight up black. Got me
Like,
thinking it's Jace Fox. I hope not.
much better. It's a pretty cool suit.
It is. I don't know how I feel about these ears, but other than that, it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's better than Damian Wayne's usual Batman outfit in the future.
And then there was the let's see, Batman Arkham Knight Can sequel concept art. Yeah, this Batman that we would have gotten.
Huh. I like that.
I was pretty hyped when I saw it, and then I was like, oh yeah, this is canceled.
That's tragic.
Yep.
Well, I suppose that's anything else we want to say about Young Justice?
The ending with Wally and Connor like memorials looked really good, and that was a nice touch.
That was a nice set. I've been liking those little ending moments a lot in this series.
Yeah.
I did like that. Dang, 2 of them gone. 2 of the originals. Pain.
Superhero life is dangerous. We already know, like, we already seen like a bunch of statues before of like Blue Beetle, Jason Todd. I forget else who we saw. Wally.
You think they took down the Jason Todd statue? That was something that came into my head while watching. I was like, what happened to the Jason Todd statue? Did they take it down? Because he's alive now?
He is back.
Like, what happens every time a hero dies and they get brought back with a Lazarus pit or some other way?
Actually, he's like, huh. He's like, wait a minute. He may have just shattered my mind here.
Or do they keep it up for public persona to like keep Jason's identity secret?
That would be the smart thing to do.
But would that be the sentimental thing to do? Because we know the heroes like to be sentimental.
We don't have time for sentiment.
Okay.
Justice.
Okay, Batman.
Rage and brood.
All right. Going on to what do we got next? Do you want to do Eternals or The Harder They Fall?
Yeah, we could do Eternals.
So,
thoughts?
They broke the formula.
Did they?
Yeah. This was not a typical Marvel movie.
It was, but it also was. It wasn't, but it also was.
Yes. And we can't ask for them to do something different all the time, and then when they do something different, not at least praise them for doing something different.
Oh, I'll give them praise for that.
It was fun.
It was fun. Okay.
But it wasn't all that great. There was
what do you have to say?
I just felt like icky about it the whole time, honestly.
Huh?
I don't know.
You said what?
I didn't like it. I did not like it. So we show up to Earth and we start just killing animals just because they're doing animal things.
So, okay, hold up. Before we dive deep into it, all right, because I just wanted to hear everyone's initial thoughts at first.
Yeah.
So, you thought it wasn't good. Huxley, you didn't like it.
I think it was.
I thought the movie was ass, and I was afraid. I thought it was bad.
I thought it was fine. I thought visually it was fantastic. Script-wise, it was choppy, and performance-wise, sometimes it was really good, sometimes it was lackluster.
I thought the movie was cheeks. I actually here. Let me not say cheeks. That's harsh. That's not fair. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that, Mike. The movie was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine, but it shouldn't have been a movie, I don't think.
That being said, I had very low expectations for this movie.
Yeah, I went in like I don't care about Eternals, but I guess since we have a show, we'll watch it. And I didn't expect to feel that bad about it. And I don't know, it might just be the biologist in me, but I just didn't like how they showed up, just started killing like the deviants, because like the deviants weren't necessarily bad. They were just like a life form doing what other animals do. And then like afterwards at the college scene, not a college scene, it was like a school kids, but they were doing a whole lecture about apex predators. So I thought, oh, maybe we're also gonna be talking about how important keystone species are, and maybe the deviants were a keystone species doing an important role in the environment because they got rid of all of them. Something bad's about to happen. But no, we never actually learned a lesson about ecology or how important keystone species are, like I was hoping.
That's a fair argument against the deviants. I think that the thing is to remember though is that these aren't your typical apex predators in which that they are natural to the ecology. They are an artificial, like it's artificial selection because they're choosing who dies and who doesn't in the beginning by sending the deviants there to begin with.
Yeah, and if anything, that kind of made it worse because like in the end, like they have the same masters, they have the same job. It's just like the deviants are wild and the Eternals are not. And when they realize how bad the Celestials are, I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna team up because they're both forsaken by their masters. But no team up. We're just because we're on the same page now, deviants doesn't change anything. We like killing you too much.
I think a big thing of that too was that like they didn't even try to communicate, right? They just like maybe they tried to communicate and the deviant was like, fuck that shit, I'm still killing you because you killed my kind. Then they're like, yeah, sure, fucking go at it, see who survives.
Yeah, it finally got sentience, and they didn't even try to like work together and realize like we both don't like the Celestials.
Yeah,
It kind of just seemed like colonizers showing up, trying to do stuff, and just fucking things up.
I think that was kind of the point of it.
It could have been the point, like colonizers are always bad.
So, the way I see it is conceptually, right? The deeper concepts that this movie was trying to put forward, I thought were phenomenal and very interesting. But they never dove into them, so it kind of negated it.
Yeah.
Like the whole natural, because the apex predator thing was like touched on a bit, like because the Celestial's birth is a natural thing. It's the natural universe. Like a Celestial is born, this planet dies, but it births billions of other planets and so forth.
It also kind of had a really interesting moral dilemma of the like, is one life worth millions, billions of others?
Exactly.
Is one life even worth one other life?
Exactly. But at the same time, they didn't really tackle it. You know what I mean? Like they said it, but they didn't tackle any of it.
And then they started talking about shouldn't humans have a say? And then they never let humans have a say. They still like, we're gonna do this for the humans. We're not gonna deal with them still.
The Eternals runtime is 2 hours and 37 minutes, including credits and yada yada, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we needed the script at the beginning giving us some plot in words that made us read for the first minute of the movie. That could have been done in like, a couple minutes in a scene or something, perhaps. But also, I feel like 2 hours and 30 minutes kind of is like the normal runtime of movies these days, it feels like.
Yeah.
And I think a product of that is like our TV shows are now an hour versus like the 24 minutes that they used to be. And I just feel like production companies keep doing this thing of like having these really intricate stories, but not giving enough time for them. And I think in 30 more minutes, this movie would have been better.
In 30? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Here's my thing is I think Eternals actually had way too many characters.
Oh, it should have been a TV show.
Yeah, like to even be a movie, it was just way too, because like they had all these romances and like dialogues that implied there was some kind of tension here or there over whatever the fuck that I just didn't care about because I never saw any of it.
That's fair. I actually think that they manage the amount of characters way better than other movies do. That being said, I still think that it's a problem of having too many characters. That's when you just go, let's make a TV show instead.
Like, because I was like, oh, Ajax is here. Oh, Ajax is dead. Oh, they really loved Ajax, some of them, but not really. And then Sprite was in love with Icarus, but I didn't know that until they said it randomly. And he's like, oh, you love him. It's like, oh, I guess she loves him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and I know a lot of the stuff that they had issues with was in the comics. Like Sprite doesn't like being in a child's body for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Understandable.
So like I was just watching this movie and they would throw new stuff at me and I'd be like, okay. And
the biggest I feel like they did a lot of good of making everything they threw at you make sense really quickly, but they never gave enough weight to anything by doing that. I think the only thing they really gave weight to was Icarus and Cersei, and that's it.
That's about the only relationship they actually put any.
Maybe Gilgamesh and Athena.
That was nice. I did like Gilgamesh. Lovable character. I actually was upset when he got.
Yeah, I think the three characters who had the best chemistry in the movie or the three pairs, I should say, were Cersei, Icarus, because that's the main, Gilgamesh, Athena, and then
they had good chemistry.
Like in terms of like you actually felt something there, versus like the others. And the last one is I don't even remember the character's name because it's fucking impossible to remember all the characters' names because there's too many of them.
Which one?
What
did they do?
It is Kingo and the director or his friend.
Oh,
The human.
Yeah,
Kingu,
he
and
was
I
great.
forget the human's name.
Yeah.
That was great. Their
The Yu
interactions were
Hakusho
great.
character.
Yeah.
That's the entire time I saw
this.
this movie. Is like spirit gun, spirit gun, spirit gun.
Oh yeah, he is Yu Yu Hakusho. Wow. They really these characters are all just other pop culture characters thrown into one movie or one thing together, huh?
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't know much about Marvel, so maybe he's had the spirit gun a lot longer than Yusuke. For all I know,
I don't think the Eternals are that old.
I think they're pretty old.
Not this canon. They've had different storylines, is what it was.
Yeah.
I think the thing that really turned me off from this movie was just how they did the final symbiote, not symbiote, deviant. That I was so
Well, as a human,
huh?
As a human, essentially, or as like a.
No, I just didn't like that he just went out like that.
It was very obvious storytelling, which is my problem with it.
Like even beyond obvious storytelling, like they were like, oh, he's like a threat. Oh, he's sentient. Oh, he's gonna start speaking. He maybe said all of like maybe 6 lines and then died.
I was expecting him to like help them, like form a team against to kill Tiamat or whatever.
I was expecting at least a perspective. I got literally nothing from that. It made me feel like the deviants served no purpose. I know they served the purpose, but it kind of felt like it just negated them for the entire movie. Its
purpose was getting rid of characters.
Yeah.
Its purpose was to lighten the load on the plot.
For all that, they should have made him sentient. I would rather him just be a beast.
Yeah.
Just like a force that they should be afraid of. That's just like growling and snarling coming at it. But like once he started speaking and he's like, oh, I understand. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, you're reeling me in here. There's some stuff that's going to be said. No.
Something's big is going to happen. You're not just like a giant, terrifying monster. You have some intelligence. You have a thoughts. And like, you could pose a threat or you're going to team up with them and show them how they were wrong about killing deviants or something.
Yeah, it was... They tried to do a lot. And some of it worked, some of it didn't.
Like, you have the mind control guy, right? Who Icarus pushes, Druig, pushes, I don't even know how many feet deep into a volcano, somehow walks out and smacks Sprite.
Sprite in the head. Like
that did hurt.
But being pushed into Earth does not knock the other one out. Like, they're very different in terms of power scaling, I guess.
I mean, I understand power scaling. It's just his thing isn't like super strength, or I mean, he probably has super strength and durability, like to an extent. Right?
I think they all have some sort of super strength and durability, right?
Well, my point is that he got like plummeted deep into the mountain and still walked out fine, not fine, but like relatively fine, and smacked Sprite in time for Sprite not to stop Cersei.
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes no fucking sense.
Honestly, they were all kind of awful beings too, except for like, which makes sense because most of them are like supposed to be who the gods were, and like if you know anything about most mythos, is that the gods are fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's just who they are. And like the only one that I actually thought was a decent, or the only two that I thought were decent beings for most of it were the like tech guy and Gilgamesh.
Faustus.
Yeah, Faustus.
Faustus and Gilgamesh were like the only ones who were good people.
Cersei was fine. Cersei really cared about humans, and that was her thing, which is great and all. But she also still dated Icarus, which like the amount of red flags that man let off by like following her around the humans, being like, well, if I want to be with you, I have to be interested in them too. Like, nah.
He was saying some pretty cringe stuff. Oh, but this movie did canonize sex.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, the first movie to include that.
When that happened, I definitely went, oh, heroes do that.
Sex is officially canon.
Heroes do that. You hear that, DC? Marvel says heroes fuck.
They fuck.
I don't think that was the problem. I think there was another extent to that. That was the problem for DC. which is still not canon in Marvel, at least.
But yeah, I mean, like overall, I couldn't really enjoy the movie. Like the deeper moments when they were having like the dialogue and stuff were interesting, but it was like multiple different deep topics that weren't fleshed out. Like the whole I'm building like it like what's his name? Phosphorus? Not phosphorus.
Phosphorus?
Phosphorus, like
Fastos.
like Festus, Faustus, something. He like his whole like technology advances helps them grow if they kill each other, leading to the bomb and him changing. I was like, okay, that's an interesting plot line. Didn't really see it fleshed out.
And then
like
the
that.
next scene, we just see him
immediately
with
went everything being
a
okay.
husband and a kid, and he finds some semblance of good and humanity.
And I was like, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
I
They
guess.
did so much so quickly, and that was the problem.
Yep.
I was also kind of mad that Cersei has the power to turn the Eternals into humans. We're only going to do it on Sprite, not the one who is married to a human and has a human child, who might want to grow old with his partner and child, but now has to watch him die.
Yeah, she'll be able to do it again the next time a Celestial is about to be born and they stop it.
Yeah, the next billion years.
Yeah, I think the best part of the movie was honestly Kit Harington in credit scene.
Yeah, that was actually the only the only thing I cared about in the movie was just seeing him with the ebony blade.
Ebony, but yes.
I think the best part for me for the whole movie experience was the trailers for Clifford the Big Red Dog. It was a lot better than the first trailer.
It was better than the first trailer.
But yeah, I was just very disappointed in the movie. I was watching it and I was like, I'm mad I spent money on this. I could have waited.
I watched it. I was unsure how I felt, and then I had to sit on it for a day before I was like, I didn't like it.
It hurt me worse than Age of Ultron did.
I came out of it being okay with it.
I was very disgruntled. As a matter of fact, y'all are seeing me calmer now. When I first got out the theater, I was very livid.
Yeah, I think it's a fun movie to go watch.
I don't know.
I think
it was fun to watch.
I think it did. I think it did a really good job of introducing characters and getting you excited for their next journey. But that's it. Like that was kind of how I left feeling it. I was like, okay, I'm excited for. I think I was just so hyped about Black Knight that I was happy.
Yeah, I'm excited for Black Knight.
And I liked Harry Styles as Eros, and I'm excited to see how that goes.
I don't know what they're gonna do with him. Thanos is already dead. All he has left is orgies.
Oh, that's something to look forward to.
Star Fox.
That's his thing. He's usually dealing with Thanos or just having sex with people or getting in trouble for that.
I think we're going to see Thanos come back. I think we're going to get a Lady Death Thanos thing to happen.
They better be very careful how they handle that.
Yeah.
Don't kill my Thanos. I mean, I don't mean don't kill I don't mean don't kill physically. Don't ruin my thing.
Yeah. Because
is this the first time we've ever agreed on how we feel about a movie? Because I feel like we're usually pretty split.
No, we were pretty in tune on Injustice.
Yeah, Injustice. Okay. I think we all agreed.
I think there's been others too, but Black Widow, we all made fun of Black Widow.
Yeah.
We all were it was better than we expected because we had zero expectations.
But still,
Also, did y'all get my or did y'all see the meme I sent?
Which meme? Oh, yes.
All the 3 Marvel movies have Asian leads. Yes.
Yeah. The last 3 films have had Asian protagonists. The joke is Scarlett Johansson.
Maddie said the joke is Scarlett Johansson. I think I got that.
No, I'm saying it for anybody watching.
Oh, right.
But also, generally, the joke is Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Or her husband, Colin Jost.
But, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. This movie, I hope they don't make a sequel. It's okay. I'm alright without it.
I think they're definitely gonna make a sequel. But
I mean-
they're gonna change things for it. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna have a completely different feel.
Probably. Hey, here's the thing. The director's name is Chloe Zhao, right?
Yeah.
Chloe Zhao.
Like,
Zhao. She's
Yeah.
not a bad director
No,
by
she's
like
the
any
script was the
stretch.
problem. The
Yeah.
script was 100. There were lines that were so choppy that I felt it from good performers. From the that played Rob Stark, I felt, ooh, that line did not read well at all.
I was not. Yeah. I just don't want anyone to like think that she's not a good director off of this movie. Like that's not her.
Angelina Jolie had a line that I literally went, this line is bad. I know Angelina Jolie is not bad because she made Beowulf somehow enjoyable.
It's Angelina Jolie. Like
Also, she doesn't age.
ever.
Yeah. She is an eternal.
That's why she got casted.
Yeah.
One of my friends, well, I laughed at my friend. There's this restaurant here called Gilgamesh, and he was like, I knew I recognized the name Gilgamesh from here, and he like set the picture of it. I had the clown him. I was like, you didn't recognize the name Gilgamesh from the Epic of Gilgamesh?
Yeah, like, homie.
I was like, I feel like most of us had to read it for like high school English class.
I'm gonna open up a restaurant called Rumpelstiltskin, and he's gonna be like, "Yo, I thought I recognized the Rumpelstiltskin."
I was so off guard, but I guess that just like a little fun bit of side information. It threw me off for a day.
Y'all want to talk next movie?
Yeah.
Finch.
Is it Finch?
There are
I
two
did
other
watch
movies.
Finch. I did watch Finch. I think Haxley, you said you didn't watch Finch?
I did not watch Finch.
We can talk Finch. I mean, really quickly.
Yeah, you guys
get like an overview. Are you gonna watch that at all, Haxley?
Maybe. Let me know what it's about.
It's about a man creating a robot to save a dog from an apocalypse that happens because a solar flare burns holes into our ozone. That's the whole movie.
So okay.
And
let me tell you, it is a fantastic movie.
It is a great movie. I cried so hard to this movie.
I very much enjoyed this movie. It was nice. It was
the robots were great.
What I like is one of the best things about this movie is it was very different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's not something that I've been seeing a lot recently. You know, like this is it's very much its own identity.
It was very different. It was definitely an exploration of the good and the bad of humans.
Yes.
And like the lengths we will go to protect something that we love, regardless of what it is.
Plus, the robot just gets a bonus for his name. I was a fan.
Oh, because his name is.
It's Jeff.
His name is Jeff.
The greatest name that you could possibly give.
He went, my name is Jeff.
Honestly, just seeing Jeff like bounce when he got excited, it always like I was like, what's this?
Honestly, if this movie doesn't win an Oscar for special effects, I'll be mad. The motion capture effects were incredible. The storyline is incredible. Dewey was the best character. Fight me.
That's fair. That's fair. Dewey was pretty fantastic. Not Goodyear.
Goodyear was also great. And like Tom Hanks was incredible in it. It was very different from how I usually view Tom Hanks.
Yeah, this was it was a character movie.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen in a while. There's probably a bunch out there, but I haven't seen it in a while. It's a very character-heavy movie.
I do watch character-heavy movies. They're probably my favorite kind of movies to watch. And this one was just so good. It was miles ahead. And it made you feel for every single type of being in it. Even Tom Hanks's character, who's not the best, you fall in love with him.
Yeah, like he has his flaws, but you like You want to see him overcome it, work with him, you feel for him. You learn a lot about his mindset. It's very nice.
You understand everything that goes on between these characters. And what was honestly most impressive to me is that this movie was made before the pandemic. And it wasn't released till now because the distribution company was holding on to it, and then by the time movie theaters were coming out, I think it had already sold to Apple.
Right. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. But it felt like a movie that would have been made in 2020 because it only really revolves around a few people that would have been there for it. And it just shows that, like, I think that this movie was a great art piece, and it shows that you don't need to do all of these things. We just need a good story.
Yeah. At the end of the day, good characters and a good story is all we really are. Like, I don't need super crazy action sequences or super emotional romances or like overdone sex scenes or like I just need,
convoluted outlines.
Yeah, like I don't need like a oh my gosh plot twist after plot twist or like those stuffs are all cool, but at the end of the day, the ticket to a really good movie is the character and the story. That's it. The character's story, to be specifically.
Yeah, you knew everything that was going to happen in this movie before it happened.
Yeah.
And it just did a really good job of being like, this is the journey. You know where it's going to end, but here's the journey. And I think that's what a lot of movies miss these days, is that it's all about the plot twist. It's all about the ending. It's never really about how good of a journey it can be to get there. Yeah. I honestly think the movie deserves a 9.4 out of 10.
I definitely give it at the very least a 9.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly into it. I didn't even know I was going to enjoy that movie as much as I did. As I was watching it, I was just like, oh, wow. Okay, wait. Kind of wish I saw this in theaters.
Yeah, I kind of wish that was possible. But, watching it in bed on my fiance's birthday, just like hanging out it was pretty great. It's a great way to spend like a couple hours.
Most definitely. I didn't feel like I wasted my time or anything. The opposite of Eternals. But I didn't feel like I wasted my time. I was just happy I watched the movie. I was like, all right, bet this is what I wanted.
And it's a movie that, because it's about the journey, I'll rewatch it. Like, it was so good that I could see myself just being like, you know what? I don't know what to watch. I'll watch Finch for the 15th time because it's that good of a movie.
Yeah, it was very good. Like, I would definitely rewatch it.
And I feel like a lot of movies don't have that these days. A lot of movies are like, I didn't know what was happening. I've seen it. I don't need to see it again. Or I'm going to rewatch it because it's been a few years. I'd like to kind of remember how it goes. But that's it.
I can agree to that.
All right. So I think it's time to move on.
Another movie that I enjoyed, but for all the opposite reasons that I enjoyed Finch.
Honestly, The Harder They Fall did the perfect thing of doing the journey and the ending.
Yeah,
in my opinion. I think The Harder They Fall. So I'm a sucker for Westerns. I just am. And my favorite Western movie was Tombstone. That was always my favorite Western movie, followed by Django with Jamie Foxx. Those are probably my two favorites. This movie felt like a combination of the two. And it's probably my favorite Western movie now.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
I enjoyed it. I don't have much experience with Westerns.
I don't have much experience with Westerns either, but I was just happy that I got to just see a movie, dare I say, with just black people doing. So I was all for it.
That's fair. That might also be why I really like this movie, is that so for those of you that don't know, I am mixed race. My mom is black, my dad is white. My mom is black and native, and my dad is white. And my mom is the reason why I love Westerns. She's who I watched them with growing up. And part of me loving this movie as much as I do is it just made me want to go watch it with my mom.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. Actually, we have to hear Haxley say something, man.
I said I liked it. I don't have much experience with Westerners, but I really enjoyed this movie. I felt sad when some of the characters died.
I did feel sad.
Yeah.
Especially the one with the mouse who kept talking. I can't remember his name, but he always wanted to do
Jim.
quick draw battle. Jim.
GM. He's lightning with the blam blams.
He was faster.
No, don't say that to me. Oh, that hurt me. Oh, when she said he was faster, I was like, no.
But that's what made this movie so good.
Like, I actually cared about like the characters. I think the only character I didn't care too much about was Zazzy's. Like that was it.
Yeah, I feel like Zazie could have done better. I've seen her do better stuff, but she was more to the side for this one.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's whatever.
I mean, I even like her character in that. Like, when your least favorite character is still a character you would have liked in anything else, it's a good movie.
Oh, for sure. Like, but you know, at the end of the day, it was still enjoyable seeing her. She did her role fine. You know,
just all the
Idris definitely.
Yeah,
Idris
I was literally
definitely stole the soul.
I was literally just thinking about Idris and Regina. Just everybody, like everybody performed so well, no matter how big their part was.
Everyone performed extremely well. Like I said, to me, Idris stole the show. From the get-go, he was a menace.
Oh yeah,
and then the ending just ties it up really, really nicely. Just his story specifically gets tied up very nicely.
Yeah, I think probably my if I had to pick a top 5 from this group, it would have probably been Idris, Regina, Jonathan Majors, Lakeith Stanfield, and then RJ Seiler, who was Jim. For characters, that had been Rufus, Trudy, Nat Love, Cherokee Bill, and Jim Beckworth.
I think I would put Pickett over Cherokee Bill for me, but other than that, yeah, I would agree.
I liked Cherokee Bill just because he was so like, I'm against violence, but like I do it because it's necessary. And then like he was very much always character-wise leading you to what he does at the end of the movie by saying things like, it's not about who's fastest, it's about who's alive and who's dead.
Yeah.
Like, and the way that he always just played that, like, I don't want to be the one doing this, but this is a matter of survival for me. Yeah. And I really enjoyed that.
What favorite scene from the movie? What would y'all say is your favorite scene or scenes? I have two that I like. So.
I like the bank robbing scene.
Bank robbing scene with the dress, that was pretty fun.
That was fun.
And obviously the ending scene with Idris and Jonathan Majors.
That was a strong scene. That was powerful.
Yeah, that just showed how good of actors both of them are. Because I just had goosebumps the entire time.
My favorite scene, I think, is Idris beaten on the I forgot what the mayor's name was. Just because
Wiley.
He had my favorite line. He's like, "Look at that! I done hit gold." I love that line. I love that line so much. He's like, "Come here, boy. Have some of this gold." I was like, "Oh, okay."
It's hard to pick a scene in this movie. It's just so good, and like its ratings that it's getting is not representative of how good it is.
The thing is, it's our Rotten Tomatoes. It's good, but I think on like IMDb, it's not.
IMDb and Metacritic, it's like 65%.
And which I don't understand, but like all around on at least Rotten Tomatoes, it's being very well received.
I honestly think Rotten Tomatoes
wasn't it number one trending on Netflix?
It was. And Twitter loved it. Twitter would love this movie.
Yeah, Twitter would love it. Like, let's see. I think, critics' reviews for it is an 86, and then the audience score is a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I think the audience score is right. I think critics, like usual, don't know what they're talking about.
I mean, critically, I can understand why it wouldn't be a 90.
Yeah, because critics care about very specific things.
Like
doesn't include Hollywood.
Yeah, like it's not like as a film, yeah, it's not the greatest film, you know what I mean? But it's definitely an enjoyable film. So like I can understand why critically it's not that high. I don't agree if it's anything less than like a 75 though. So I don't agree with like Media Critic or anything like that because I don't think it's anything less than a 75.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like there are some really good critic reviews from on Metacritic. Yeah, some of these reviews are like fantastic actors, but unrealistic action scenes were impossible to overcome. Like, just have fun with it. Like, that's westerns. Westerns have always had like unrealistic action scenes, and they've just gotten more unrealistic the further we get because it's more fun that way.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be a fun movie, you know.
Yeah, like Django. Have y'all both watched Django?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Totally unrealistic action and stuff that happens in it. Some of it was based in, fact, but some of it wasn't.
I mean, they said the events weren't real in the beginning of the movie, at least for this one. So, what y'all want? I got everything I needed. I got Idris saying, "Oh my God, what did he say at the end?" He said, "See, at the end of the day, you're gonna be a worse outlaw than me, because at the end of the day, I couldn't kill my brother, but you're going to kill yours." That hit me. That hit me. Oh man, that hit me so hard. I wasn't expecting that twist. I'll be real with you.
I was not expecting that twist either.
I wasn't either. It almost felt unnecessary, but it explains everything. Yeah. Like that's the problem. It's like an unnecessary twist is when it's truly unnecessary and does nothing for the plot. But this gave the plot so much more meaning.
Yeah, like the revenge story all makes sense because Rufus is living a different story than Nate or Nat. Sorry, which is because Rufus is trying to save Riverwood. That's his story right now.
Yeah, he wants to make Redwood a place for Black excellence to thrive and to not let white people in, kind of deal. Which I made it really hard to like root for him, but then he would do things like kill a Black civilian because they wouldn't fall in line, and that's when you're like, okay, now I can't root for you, right?
I say Riverwood. Oh my God, I played too much
Skyrim. And then you also just like think back to Rufus killing Nat Love's dad and mom and branding him the way that he did, which also just meant so much, at least to me, because like when I think of markings on like that on Black skin, I always think back to slavery, and you're not that far removed from slavery even today. So like really didn't like it there.
I was on with that interaction too, just because Jonathan Major's argument with him over that, and because he says, I killed my father," and then Nat saying, "No, you killed my father, my mother," and they're going back and forth because they both saw two different sides of the same person, which was very interesting. Mm-hmm. With at least for Rufus, his dad was abusive, killed his wife, so a murderer.
Yeah. So it's something that we talk about with rehabilitation. One of the steps is always like appeasement for your crimes, or like trying not even to get forgiveness, just admitting you were wrong. And he never did that.
Oh, neither of them did.
Who's Nat Love got to ask for forgiveness?
Nobody. He killed the last of his family.
All he can do is ask himself for forgiveness.
Azzy.
Yeah, that's all he has is Azzy. Oh, I'm sorry, Mary. Stagecoach Mary.
Well, what would we rank? What would we rate this out of 10?
We have an 8.5, 8.7.
I'll give it a 9. I really enjoyed it.
I think it's a 9.2. I really enjoyed it.
The only bad part from my experience is I was watching it really late at night, and I didn't realize how long it was. And I was like fighting sleep for a bit, but I fought the sleep because I wanted to finish the movie.
Yeah, I had to watch the movie a second time because the first time I watched it, it was late at night and I was drinking. And I was like, oh my God, I love this movie, and I was enjoying it. And then like I was like, oh my god, this movie's kind of long. Hold up, I need to actually give it its due diligence. So I watched it the next day, sober.
I probably should rewatch it too because I was fighting sleep because I didn't realize how long it was gonna be. So there were just some scenes like I was like, no, we're gonna finish this actually.
I was getting frustrated
just
with
an
my
old man.
dog. I was getting frustrated with my dog because she kept asking to be put outside, and I was like, no, let me watch this movie.
Right.
So that was kind of the biggest thing. But yeah.
All right. And that's it for the media, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Any other thing I want to say about this movie? I do like that Idris's character had the decency to at least leave the train with a train driver, with someone who can drive the train.
Oh yeah.
You know, all these people still need to get to where they go, so kill everyone but him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I liked a lot about this movie.